What's definitely getting out of hand? Disney's remakes. Monthly subscriptions, not just streaming services, software, games, and even vehicle features. It's like the MBS from MBB have their hands in everything now. I will 100 billion% never buy a car. From a toxic scam company to demands, I pay more money for heated seats. I paid for the seats. They're mine. Back off. Jobs asking for 5+ years of experience, being listed as entry-level. Short videos on every social media app. It destroys the attention span and critical thinking abilities, mainly for children that grow up with these apps watching endless short videos. They will have no motivation to do something else. That costs more effort, and it is truly concerning. Already out of hand, and has been for a while, but keeps getting worse. Advertisements everywhere. I find the worst part is the repetition. In one evening of TV watching, I might see the same commercial 20 or 30 times. Sometimes the same commercial plays back to back or twice within one break. There should be laws against this kind of spam. It's brainwashing. I grow to despise certain commercials. I'm sure I'm not alone in this. Why do we put up with it? And worse is that we pay for this nonsense. I can't stand the earworm jingles. There should definitely be a law restricting the number of times the same commercial can be used, within a time frame. What kind of damage is this doing to kids and developing brains? Phone music and TikTok out loud in public. Every place asking for a tip uses the self-checkout kiosk. Would you like to leave a tip? This one got me. I get a drink out of the cooler at a hockey game myself. Bring it to the checkout myself. I then scan it myself. And I am asked how much of a tip I want to leave. Whom the heck am I tipping? For what? It was entirely self-serve. I found the tiny no tip button on the machine, then tipped myself cash. Ignorance. So many poorly educated people with no desire to learn. Self-education is now seen as a chore instead of a great skill or power. Knowledge is power. My brother's high school freshman schedule was just sent to us. Not one history class in the whole year. No wonder history is cyclical, because we're failing to teach the past. The cost to simply be alive and take care of yourself, right, and the push for needing side hustles, on top of a full-time job to simply survive. I work 20 hours a week on an internship, and I still make less than $9,000 a year. Anyone working in my position, $9 an hour, full-time, 40 hours a week, will quite simply not be able to live off of $18,000. It's just not possible, and it's frustrating because you look around Reddit and hear stories of people back in the day working minimum wage, making enough to afford a home for a family of 7. Then, in contrast, you see boomers who grew up in those times shaming us for not having the same utilities they had. We didn't get lazier. They ruined the world for us and won't take accountability for it. For context, my job doesn't provide health insurance, so there goes $400 of my paycheck every month. I now have $200 for rent, food, water, bills, and tax, so let's just bump that down to $180. If not for college dorms, I would be homeless or starving. Everything is getting out of hand. The pressure from social media to look absolutely perfect at all times, to the point where everyday people are having surgery to alter their looks. Planned obsolescence, the absolute worst. How is it that a $400 phone and $1,500 phone have the same 1-year warranty? I love how $400 for a phone is now accepted as a budget option. Inflation, shockingly so, especially at the grocery store, and wages haven't risen to meet it. And also the company saying nonsense like, well, our workers wanted higher pay, so you get what you sow. Except every single company increasing prices like that are still getting record profits. My company tried claiming we weren't going to break even this year of their projected goal, which was hugely inflated. Hence why we weren't given raises, despite the fact that the previous year had record-breaking profits for the company, more than they'd ever seen. Main character syndrome, 100% this. The amount of self-absorbed, selfish, and entitled people that are around now infuriates me. Saw some girl get on a bus the other day and refuse to pay. because she's a girl, and it was only down the road a bit, so why should she have to pay? And the fact the company makes loads of money anyway, whatever makes them think they're so special and more deserving than others? I don't know, but they're wrong. I swear this got worse after people came back from COVID somehow. Like, people are way more impatient now, especially while driving, or at least it seems to be that way where I am. Absolutely everything being a scam or a con, from MLMs to literally fake products for sale, to the ever-increasing barrage of fake accounts trying to trick people into handing over money or credit card details. Everything is a hustle. It now takes effort to sift through the crap to find real things. People falsely claiming their dog is a service animal, so they can take it with them anywhere they want. People at the gym recording videos, thinking everyone should let them have their way always at the gym since they are recording. Apps, every business, website, service, you name it has its own damn app now. 3-factor authorization also means that I have to download several apps on my personal phone just to be able to access sites required by my employer to do my job. My work used to do that until a bunch of employees started insisting that if they're making us use our personal phones for work-related reasons, that is, authenticators, then they legally have to pay us a subsidy because they're forcing us to use equipment we paid for work. It apparently worked because a few months ago, they all gave us a YubiKey and told us to delete the authenticators off our phones. The level of brightness on new car lights, thanks Mr. New Car Driver. I didn't need my retainers anyway. How people easily get replaced, be it jobs, friendships, or relationship. The US healthcare system, it just gets worse, greedier year after year. Rent increases and mortgage rates. I can barely afford my $1,200 rent, and they won't even come fix the broken front door lock. I did it myself because, you know, the door needs to goddamn lock. They've literally left a pool vacuum, exact same position, next to the pool all summer, as if anyone will see it and think any maintenance actually gets done. The maintenance guy is mean and very obese, and just glares at everyone from his golf cart. He uses grabbers to pick things up so he doesn't have to leave the cart. It'd be funny if it wasn't my darn life. Social media and phone addiction. I work with kids, and it's still how they are born into it. It's so normalized, creativity is dying. I fear our next generation. Everyone is glued to their phones. Literally, everything. Everyone raising their prices for seriously everything. I've gotten so many. We are raising our prices this year to growing inflation. And yes, the items are smaller. You don't get the same as you did before. All the product is worse. They all say we need to raise the rates for something because they can't afford to keep running their business on the prices now. But yet they show record profits. I'm looking at you, Excel, among others and others and others just like this. It's insane. My barber went from 15 euros to 18 euros to 23 euros to now 27 euros. Look, I'm loyal to my homie at the barber, but this is getting out of hand. Armchair expertise. I've been on social media since Facebook required a college email to sign up, and I have never seen more unqualified people spouting off about things they have no knowledge of, deconstructing movies they haven't seen, criticizing all teachers when they literally can't name one, moaning about laws they couldn't comprehend if made to read. It's kind of amazing but worrisome. People not knowing how to interact politely with their fellow humans. It's wild. Airlines. Ticket prices rising. Legroom shrinking. Cancellations and delays with no recourse becoming an almost every time I fly experience. It's all becoming quite infuriating. Real estate prices. I'm finally earning a decent enough living to be able to own, and will be moving in next summer, but still can only afford condos or townhouses, and not even in my county. Have to go about 30 miles south where it's a bit more affordable. Single family homes are all out. And for context, I net about $60,000 per year and live in New Jersey. Also, property taxes are insane here. The lack of consequences and no accountability. Yep, I've said this above, but it's insane how people can genuinely be complete jerks in public and no one cares. Like those people who talk on speaker and bother everyone around them Where are the owners and employees telling them to get lost and stop ruining other people's experiences? People expecting you to do stuff you've said no to already. For real. We experienced this when we first moved to our house we currently live in. We have a stocked pond and plenty of land. While my fiancé was away and I was alone, these two guys I didn't know knocked and asked to fish in our pond, stating the previous owner always let them. I told no that my fiancé is head of house and has the say so, but he's at work. They kept on insisting and was making me nervous. Luckily, my dogs were behind the door and are very territorial. I made a move like I was going to let them out, and they dipped. Then recently, there was a guy wanting to hunt on our land. Apparently, there's this deer everyone in the area has seen, including me, that everyone wants to hunt, but he's very elusive. He wanted to use our land, even though he has plenty of land himself, to get this buck, and was fighting tooth and nail with my fiancé to let him hunt on our land. He ended up having to tell the guy that if the buck is on your property, he's all yours, but if he's on our property, then he belongs to us. Guy ended driving away. People are nuts. It's frightening sometimes. People now feel entitled to whatever they want, even if it's yours. What in your opinion is getting out of control? Share in the comments, check out our other videos, and thank you for watching.